In this video for Hoopla Week, I'm going to build on the stop motion animation video that was posted earlier in the week. So if you haven't watched the video on how to make your own stop motion animation, go back and check that out before you watch this. I'm going to give you a few ideas to take your animation to the next level. These projects can be a jumping off point, and you can mix and match them to give your project your own unique look. First, I'll show you what I did to keep my camera in the same spot. Then I'll show you 3 fun ideas for your animation. For your stop motion projects, you'll probably find that you need help keeping the camera still. It's really important with stop motion to keep your camera in the same place. So if you're using a phone, you'll need to find some way to stabilize it while you're taking your pictures. You can use a tripod or hack something together. What I ended up doing was making my own tripod using a yogurt cup. I've also seen online people that used paper cups, and those are easier to cut, so that would probably be the better option. I just didn't have any, and I did have some empty yogurt containers. So I'm gonna show you real quick how I did that and show you what it looks like as well. To make your DIY tripod, you'll need some kind of container. If you have a paper cup, go ahead and use that. If you don't, maybe you can find something like this, something disposable that you can cut into to hold your camera up. So what I've done is I took my camera, and as you saw in the picture, I laid it over vertically so that my camera, imagine my camera is my hand. So this is the front. I flipped it on its side so that it's vertical. The skinny edge is down, and I put it halfway. And at that point, I took a marker and marked either edge, so I knew how thick to make my lines. And it's gonna look a little different when it's an actual phone and not a hand. Okay, so once I had my marks, I took some scissors and I cut where the marks are. So it was a little tricky. If you decide to go this route and you're using something that's kind of a hard plastic, you'll definitely want to get an adult to help you out with this. I found that when I try to cut it, I need to keep the tips of the scissors where I want it to end, and you only want it to be a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, not very deep. So I want to make sure that the scissor tips don't go past where I want my line to stop, because otherwise, if you put them further in, it'll cut all the way to where the scissors are. So you just keep them right there, and then it's kind of tricky, make that cut. And I'm going to do it on the other side. And I just want those scissor tips right where that line is. And kind of tricky. And I'm going to move it in just a little bit. And you can fold it back. I liked leaving my edges because it kind of helps support the phone. So you're going to do that on both ends. And after that, you can get started. To start out with this background, I put a piece of blue fabric over a box top and just kind of folded it over, and the box top is propped up. Once I've put my fabric on the background, I am going to use just some plain white paper, and I have already done it. I drew some quick, easy clouds, and then I cut them out and put a little piece of tape on the backs of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick them on in a random place. To make my moving clouds animation, I'm going to take a picture and then move them all just a little bit to the side. And then take another picture and then move them a little more. And so on. I'm going to go ahead and do that and take my pictures, and then we'll come back and see how it went. Okay, for this idea, for different things you can do with stop motion, I'm going to show you how to make fabric look like water. So I don't have a lot of toys and figurines for this project, but I do have this metal ship, and I thought that would be kind of cool. So what I have for this project, I'm using the background from earlier with the clouds on it, and then I have this ship around. You could use any kind of boat, figurine, toy, or you could also use like a marine life. And then I have this teal t-shirt. This is just a t-shirt that I put on the ground. And I'm going to take a picture and then move the fabric, scrunch it a little bit, and then take another picture and then move the fabric again. So it's a really simple project. But if you do it a bunch of times, it looks like this is moving water. It kind of looks like it's moving on its own and making waves. I also decided to include this little figurine that we made in the first week, the Bindi person. So I'm gonna go do that, oopsie, and we'll come back and see how it went. For this project, I'm going to use some craft paint in 3 colors, and I'm going to paint a background for my animation. And you can do any kind of background that you want, and you can use any art materials that you have handy. I'm going to do a volcano scene because I have a dinosaur figurine. So, paint, and I have a couple of paint brushes to use and a little water. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this together. I'm using a slightly big piece of paper, but you can also paint several sheets of smaller paper and put them together to make your background. So with this, I'm just going to tape it up on the box top that I'm filming. And then I can use my dinosaur to move around with this cool scene. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So I'll put it up and maybe do a short stop motion.